everybody. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm so sorry for the grunting and the moaning and everything, but man, has it been a week and a half. Hello, everybody. It is January the 9th, 2019, the second Wrestleview Weekly of the new year. So is it safe to say we can stop saying Happy New Year from now on? Is it safe to say? I think so. Hello, everybody. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside Adam Martin, editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views. And you are on the Wrestleview channel of the YouTubes, which also houses Mike and Victoria Tedesco's post-Raw recap, which I found thoroughly entertaining. If you have not checked it out, please do so on this very station, that station, website, channel, whatever the hell it is that we're on, that you're on. That's where you can watch it. Hello, everybody. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Jamel, here in the chat room of the Wrestleview Weekly show. How are you? I'm doing good because we are sipping on Crown Royal Vanilla and Coke tonight. Oh, that's good stuff. That is dangerous, dangerous stuff. Oh boy, what a week of wrestling stuff that's been going on. We had All Elite Wrestling doing their rally last Friday. Tons of people signing up for that federation that a lot of people are talking about, and lots of other things that have been set up with that federation that we're going to definitely talk about this morning, evening, or whenever the hell you're listening to it. Hey, Frank, you're going to listen on the drive home from work? I appreciate that. That's no problem, dude. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to listen live to enjoy this. You can always listen to it when it's archived on the YouTubes. First off, apologize for how my nose looks kind of weird, you know. That's what happens when you love pizza. We'll go ahead and put it that way. I still haven't cracked puberty, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, on the show, wow, this week's Raw and Smackdown were complete night and day as far as quality, huh? Man, I gotta tell you, it was night and day. Because today, as usual, prepping for the show, I DVR both Raw and SmackDown and decided to pull a back-to-back, pull a doubleheader and watch them both immediately following one another. If you checked out my tweet earlier today and my Facebook update on the Wrestleview media page on Facebook earlier today, one time I went to a bar and I ordered a martini. Didn't get it for I waited 15 minutes to get it, and it tasted horrible. Then later I ordered that same martini. It only took 5 minutes and tasted absolutely wonderful. That is exactly how it felt watching Raw and SmackDown this week back to back. This is exactly how it felt. Man, just a night and day show. So we're going to be reviewing those two shows and kind of talking about what made Raw so bad and SmackDown so good. Tons of news to talk about. Most of it on the AEW front. A lot of it on the New Japan front. Also, updates to the Royal Rumble card. There's a lot of new matches, and it looks like the whole card is practically set. And here we are, I believe, 2 weeks away from the show. So 2 weeks to go on the bill. Hey, Shifty, how's it going? Man. So yeah, we're going to be talking about all that stuff. And also, in regards to All Elite Wrestling, coming up in May, the final weekend of May, will be their Double or Nothing show over in Las Vegas, over at the MGM Grand. And it was also announced that there will be a second iteration of Starrcast, which was the same convention-like atmosphere that us at Wrestleview partook in. Me, Adam Martin, and Mike Tedesco, we all went to Chicago Labor Day weekend to cover that all-in event that they had, which had the Starrcast convention going on, which was basically like an independent wrestling convention of sorts. Yes, and Goose was there, Andrew. Yes, and Goose was there too. And so a lot of questions have been coming up to where would we be going to Starrcast again this time around and go to Double or Nothing in Las Vegas? I will not be the first to say it because Adam Martin said it on the Twitter that we have no intention of attending Double or Nothing or Starrcast for that matter, and I will be going over all of those for various reasons. Some logistical, others not so much. And chose not to, when it came to us coming to this decision, we decided not to really hashtag or, point fingers and stuff. It's really just, it's an experience to talk about that we had over there at Starrcast. And, yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. Hey, Grash, it's simple, not enough Cheetos. Well, Goose went out and got us plenty of Cheetos. I mean, it's nothing about the resources that we had. It's more about the resources that were allotted to us that we were promised. We'll go ahead and put it that way. But again, just so you know too, an update on the Fantasy Royal Rumble. Fantasy Royal Rumble is going to be kicking off next week. Next week on this very show, I will be posting the roster that all of you will be able to choose from, whether it be main event, mid card, or low card, to put together your 3-man roster for the Fantasy Royal Rumble. If you are not familiar with what this is, tune in and check out the show from 2 weeks ago where I thoroughly explain what the annual Fantasy Royal Rumble is. It's a fun little thing that I've been doing for the past practically 15 years. But ever since I've been a member, part of Wrestleview, I've brought it to you guys. And so it's been a really fun way to watch the Royal Rumble and throw some gambling in there because we all know we can't watch football without fantasy football and gambling, right? So there you go. Hey, Daniel, I just said that I am taking in Crown Royal Vanilla and Coke tonight. I'm going to try to savor this because I really don't want to leave you guys hanging to get another round. Just going to really savor it. And we're going to save the good Johnny Walker stuff for later on in the year, especially when it comes to Royal Rumble times and WrestleMania times. And you can join in that with me, even though you really won't be having any. Real life problems. Okay. So, let's talk about the Red Show and the Blue Show. All right. This was such an interesting week of WWE television. Raw continuing to be as mediocre and as cruise control as it can be. And SmackDown just being completely entertaining. All right. Every program that is on SmackDown is putting the Raw programs to shame. And when I mean programs, I mean storylines and all that good stuff. So, man, it is a complete night and day contrast between these two shows. It really showed this week. And so what the heck are their problems or their, good sides? What's going on here? So let's go ahead and start off with the Red Show. Hello, brother. Of course, this episode of Monday Night Raw was the first since the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund. And the show devoted a very good 15 to 20 minutes to Mean Gene, with Hulk Hogan making an appearance, being in character, looking like old school Hogan, sort of eulogizing Gene Okerlund along with a fabulous video package. Sadly, this seemed to be the best part of the show. Well, I mean, after the first segment and then this segment happened, the rest of the show just took a complete nosedive. So let's just go ahead and start off with this. We started off this show with just a schmoz. Just a massive schmoz going on. We had no idea what the hell is going on. We see people tangling up with each other, and come to find out, Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins are going at it. This was a fantastic way to start the show with this schmoz. Okay. You're sitting there going, man, we're starting pretty chaotic here, you know? So it kind of perks up your attention. You know, you're going, hey, what's going on here? And then suddenly, John Cena! And Cena shows up. Hey, CJ, what's good? Oh, I'm good. I hope you're good. Everyone should be good because you're here. We're here. We're all here. John Cena with his weird looking, I'm just look at this picture of Cena for a second, okay? I don't know if it cannot be just his new hair that does this, because look at his getup. He's got the hat, he's got the shirt. There's nothing changed with this, except for that he has hair now. But holy hell, does it draw out his ears. Look at those suckers. Holy heck. Wow. I mean, it just looks like he hears what I'm saying right now. Yeah. So John Cena comes out to the ring and he says that he's entered himself into the Royal Rumble because he doesn't want to miss out on WrestleMania. Then out comes Drew McIntyre and he does the same old spiel that every other person does, except he respects John Cena and everything that he's accomplished. And he agrees with McMahon that Cena is the greatest of all time. And just Cena goes, dude, what's your point? McIntyre says he has a reputation for taking out the greats, so he checked the Shield, he checked Dolph Ziggler, he checked Kurt Angle, and Cena just goes, dude, you're the same as every other that I've ever heard. Just what is it? Why are you so different? And McIntyre just goes, well, they're all talking. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, Cena, I had to leave so you guys would shut your mouth and think of a different promo, and still hasn't done it. And so, yeah, Drew McIntyre makes his way to the ring. They start beating each other. They kind of start slugging at each other. But before that even happens, Bobby Lashley's Leo Rush comes out, starts saying that Bobby Lashley needs the WWE needs to get their asses in gear because Bobby Lashley's getting beat up by Seth Rollins, and out comes Seth Rollins to beat him up. It carries on to the ring. There's a Finn Balor. He's going to leap over the ropes. Oh, yeah, and a Dean Ambrose came in to join in the fray, which would lead to a 6-man tag to start the show. I got no problem with, 6-man tag. Nice little opener to start off with the show. It's a hell of a lot better than an authority figure coming out to start the show. It's a hell of a lot better than just someone talking to start the show. At least we started off pretty decent. Oh, a little 6-man tag match going back and forth. Hot tags were nice. Seth Rollins got a pretty good, decent hot tag. This all ended with Rollins doing a very nice little curb stomp on Dean Ambrose. And what I do like, we'll go ahead show these horrid sling blade. And then, oh god, okay. So I'm gonna let this graphic of Finn Balor play out a little bit, just so that I could emphasize a few points here. Okay. Number one, there's no move that I probably hate more. There are 3 moves in wrestling that I hate. Well, check that, maybe 4. Moves that I absolutely hate. Yeah, 4 moves that I absolutely hate in professional wrestling. The Spanish Fly, Destroyers. You know what I mean by Destroyers. Canadian Destroyers, shit like that. The Tower of Doom, But the fourth, it's the fucking sling blade. Makes no sense to me at all. You're just doing a pirouette in the air as you're in the air. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense to me. You're just lightly grazing the person. The other things that I actually hate is this right here. Dean Ambrose trying to do the dirty deeds, but he doing the it's going to be countered thing like that. I hate that from Dean Ambrose, okay? This whole, come on. Just try to legitimately grab the guy. Come on. It's horrible. I guess that's what kind of led me to pitching this match. But I said again that the plus side when it comes to the move wise and everything, when it came to the consistency of this match, was that when Rollins has been doing his stomp, it's been at a considerably low height. When the person's just on their knees and he just stomps their head into the ground. But these couple of times that he did tonight on Ambrose, well, let me see. Actually, we're going to have this little spot there by him on McIntyre just flipping out to people. The two times that he did his stomp on Ambrose, it was at a pretty considerable height. I mean, Ambrose was on his feet when he did this. So, one move aside, this was a pretty ho-hum six-man tag. Okay, you would almost expect this to be the main event of any typical Monday Night Raw, but they sought not to do it. They sought this to be the opening match. And then after this, apparently after the match, after Rollins has pinned Ambrose cleanly after the stomp, he looks up to the Titantron to see Triple H enjoying a nice small little cup of 8 o'clock coffee with Bayley and Sasha. Why? I don't know. It's not like he has to talk to anyone in particular. It would be nice if he was just talking to production crew maybe or something like that. Why he has to talk to Sasha? Who cares? They're showing him on screen just so that we know that Seth Rollins is going to go approach Triple H. And so he approaches Triple H and says, I want Ambrose tonight for the Intercontinental title. Triple H goes, you want Ambrose? You got him tonight for the title. Falls count anywhere. Welcome back. Smack your boob. You try doing that to one of your best friends. Okay? Like when you haven't seen a high school buddy or college roommate or anything like that for a long time, you're going out for some drinks. Just do that whole welcome back, smack your boob. See how they react. I mean, it's just awkward, isn't it? Smack. Trying to cop a feel or something like that. I'm so glad my girlfriend didn't see that. Me doing that to Adam, I don't know. I got to do this to Hunter. Yeah, when I see Hunter, yeah, you damn right I'm going to smack him in the boob. Welcome back, Hunter. One of us is going to get turned on by that. I know one of us is going to. I secretly think that Mike Tedesco's wanted me to smack his boob. Or maybe he's wanted to smack mine. Or maybe he's just wanted to smack me somewhere. I don't know. All right, so there's that. So we got the announcement. All right, main event. Falls count anywhere. Rollins Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. It is all incredibly choreographed and telegraphed for your consumption because you know damn well there's going to be some run-ins because we had a schmaz in the beginning of the show. We knew Bobby Lashley was going to run in on this match. Who didn't? Come on. Oh, well. It's a nice little start. Nice little start to the show. Hulk Hogan comes out in the next segment. Mean Gene Mania shirt. Yes, this was a very teary-eyed segment. Yeah. It was very, very, very nice. Very nice. Um, don't really need to go over everything that he really said because honestly, I thought it was kind of awkward, you know? Though I know it was meant to be. It was all in good taste. It's all in good fun. I got no problems with it. But no, it was a very, very great tribute to Gene Okerlund. So, yeah. And I'm sure all over the internets, all over the Twitters, all over Reddits. I've never ventured on Reddit, okay, to be perfectly honest. I've never ventured onto Reddit, and from what I have heard and seen and witnessed by other people's being on the thing, it's a good thing that I don't. Okay? Sounds a lot like seedy forums to me, you know? Now, don't get me wrong, the Wrestleview forum and message board was fantastic because we all had fun, tongue in cheek and everything. Other ones, not so much. They kind of take things a little too seriously, and all over the Twitters and the internets and the Reddits and all of the other blah blah blahs hating seeing Hogan on their TV because they just can't get over themselves. They just can't get over themselves. I don't know why. If you still can't get, if you still have butt hurt for Hogan and whatever the hell he might have done to you personally or offended you subconsciously, pales in comparison to anything else that's ever happened in the realm of professional wrestling that you could ever consider offensive in the ring, outside of the ring, or outside of an organization otherwise. Okay? If you don't like him because of some things that he said, then I would love to see who else that you partake in, because I'm sure that I can find just as worse things that any other person could say. I'm just putting that out. I'm just putting it out there. And also, God, how long do we have to crucify someone? How long? You know? Can we just put it to bed and put it to rest? You know? Just just get over yourselves. All right? Just get over yourselves. What do I think of Hogan? I'm indifferent. I'm honestly indifferent. I mean, I totally understand why he came out here to do this segment. Why shit on him when it's in good taste? Ultimate Warrior said hell a lot worse. And we deify him. We give him an award. We give him a statue. And his wife is crazier than he is. So, I guess it's a sign of the times for me in comparison to everyone else. I don't know if it's a sign of age, sign of experience, sign of maturity, responsibility. Get over yourselves. There were times that I got worked up and passionate over stuff, but you know, after a while, when you see the recurring person or you see a recurring theme, you kind of just go, oh, who cares? You know? Kind of reminds me of an episode of Invader Zim where, you know, Dib is angry at Zim about something. He's just lying there in bed. He's sitting up and he goes, ah, damn it. And he just goes back to bed. You know, it's what it's like. You know, just get over yourselves. Signs that I use logic, says CJ? Well, maybe. I think it's more a sign of maturity. It's more a sign of maturity and age, I guess. I don't know. And I dare not insult anyone who's not old. No, I still will. Okay. So, we're all done with the Gene Okerlund eulogizing and memorial, which was awesome again. Okay. Now let's get into why this show was so bad. Was it because of this that I'm about to talk about right now? Maybe not. Raw Tag Team titles are up for grabs in a lumberjack match where Bobby Roode and Chad Gable defend their titles against the Revival. Now, Doug, I make fun of Hunter. He's not just old, he's ancient. No, not really. Hunter's only maybe 2 or 3 years older than I am. He's not that old. Okay. Lumberjack match. Tag team titles. Roode and Gable versus the Revival. We have the entire tag team roster from Raw out on ringside. Sans one team. Can you guess who that team was that was missing. Could be AOP. They were missing for good reasons. They were missing for good reason because if they were out there being lumberjacks, they would be completely out of character because they would just be annihilating everyone around them and then getting into the ring and annihilating everyone else. So a lot of people on the internet go like, well, where's the AOP? This is bullshit. They're out of the picture for a reason. They're trying to build something here. Chad and Gable end up winning over the Revival due to the referee not really seeing Dawson's foot on the rope. So we got another case of the Revival getting shafted. Last week they were shafted because the wrong man was pinned. This week they're shafted because the ref couldn't see the foot on the rope. So the story that we're telling here, is that is there a conspiracy going? No, there's just complete ineptitude in tag team matches by referees involving the Revival and Roode and Gable. That is the only story that we're really telling here. Revival are pissed that they should be champions twice now. Gable and Roode are seen as complete fortunate bringers of luck, a la another team that used to be tag team champions on Raw, and that being the B team. So what is the difference between Gable and Roode and the B team? Absolutely nothing. They're both the same, according to this storyline that we've got going on here, where apparently Raw referees are inept with tag team competition. That's what I'm getting from this. That is the storyline right here. Nothing else that you can take away from this other than Gable still kind of dorky with his Bobby Roode shenanigans, which I'm so over Bobby Roode's theme now. I'm so over Bobby Roode's theme music. If you know anyone that yells glorious, just smack them upside the back of the head and tell them to stop it. That's so 2017. So 2017. Get with the times. It's not about glorious anymore. I don't know what it is. Why do people still say glorious? Bork Laser and Braun Strowman are going to be looking at each other face to face later for some reason. We have the hyping again of the 5 NXT talents that are going to be coming to the main roster. We've gone over all of that before. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias strums a chord and he starts saying that he's going to join the Royal Rumble match. He's going in the Royal Rumble and he starts talking about how great 2019 is going to be for him and how bad it's going to be for Karen Bourbon. Karen Bourbon interrupts him, walks the ring, says he's going to beat up Elias, blah, blah, blah. And so we have a match between Elias and Bourbon. You know, not only is the glorious music of Bobby Roode getting stale, Elias getting interrupted is getting incredibly stale. It is. It's just really, really stale. Can we just have him play out his song and then end the song and then someone comes out and then we have a match start? Can we just do that? And the exchange that the two had were bland at best. Match itself was not bad. Wasn't too bad. But who would have thought that... who would have thought? And I'm just showing these nice little spinning neck breakers by Elias. But who would have thought that Karen Bourbon would go over clean on Elias? Clean as a whistle. Clean as a whistle. I got to tell you, I'm genuinely confused. about all of this, okay? So we're building Elias, but we're also building Karen Borbin at the same time. But we are also trying to rely on Karen Borbin's heat that he had for being GM when he was given the personification of why Raw sucks. It's really, really difficult to do that when Raw still sucks and he is not in charge. Goose in the chat room, for a show that's desperate on baby faces, they have Elias go clean. Yeah, lose clean. Yeah. Borbin doesn't work with scripts. Borbin is pretty charismatic and funny by himself, says CJ. I think Borbin is fine. Okay. Karen Borbin is fine. Okay. I think he is better in the crowds delivering promos than he is in front of a camera in a set stage. You can see it. Okay, he's just way better at delivery in front of a crowd than he is solo. We'll just put it that way. Okay, I got no problem with it. Dean Ambrose is in a dimly lit room backstage saying stuff about what he's going to do to Rollins. Is this really what we got to look forward to now with Ambrose? This is, I think, the third week in a row that he has been in a dimly lit room cursing the name of Seth Rollins and how he's going to burn everything down. You want to talk about something that's getting overplayed? The dimly lit rooms where heels can, brood over their nemesis. That's becoming passé. Ambrose heel run is getting old real fast. Damn right it is. It's getting old very fast. Maybe Ambrose just doesn't like very good lighting, Maybe he just likes dimly lit rooms. I don't know. But they're always backlit rooms. Do you ever notice that? They've always got the blue tinted at that. All the way in the background. He's got some blue tint so you can see pipes. So you can understand that he is in the bowels of wherever the hell he is. But there's still light in there. And it's backlit, too. His character sucks, is what I'm trying to say. The character stinks. Help is needed. Badly. How do we solve this? We'll do some armchair booking later on. Okay? But we still haven't gotten into why this show so stunk. We're about to right now. Paul Heyman's knocking on Lesnar's door because they're going to be out next. Okay, Braun Strowman makes his way over to the ring. He's got a microphone in his hand, rips off his shirt, and he goes, God damn it, Laser, get your ass out here so I can give you these hands. Bork, Laser, and Heyman show up on the TV. Heyman says some stuff about cards subject to change, and the change is for Strowman's benefit because if Lesnar came down to the ring to get those hands, he would have a victim at the Royal Rumble. Strowman would be destroyed. No need to thank him or Lesnar. And Lesnar smirks at the camera. This would then be followed by Strowman. This is up for debate right now. If you watched Raw, I'm going to ask you this question. If you haven't watched Raw, don't please be thankful you haven't seen this. But when Strowman gives his rebuttal to Heyman's very eloquent lines, there was so much awkward silence in between Strowman's lines of, "Hey, Beastie Boy, I'm waiting. I'm standing in the ring waiting for you." Strowman telling Lesnar, "Get in this ring." Heyman goes, "Oh, is that the best you got?" Strowman then asks if Heyman's ass gets jealous of his mouth with all the crap that comes out of it. All he's heard is Lesnar doesn't want to go face to face with the monster among men. Strowman says, "Lesnar is hiding like a coward. Lesnar, if you came down right now, you're not going to make it to Royal Rumble. Everyone knows what happens when you get those hands." I got to tell you, did Strowman blank? Like, did he have a brain fart during the segment? Probably. He probably did. But my thing is, when you blank out, and if you stood on a stage and performed anywhere, you blank out on your lines, okay? You suddenly just, they leave you. You lose your sight of where you were as a character and where you were. But the great thing about professional wrestling, when you blank out on your lines, you are still supposed to have some kind of idea of what the hell is going on. What I mean by that is not what's going on in real time. I'm talking about you are this character facing another character, and this is what's going on. Why is this happening? And so you should be getting in character and saying something, anything, involving what is happening right now regarding the path that your character is taking in regards to the one that you're talking to. If you've lost your place in a script, you don't have to immediately get to those lines, because that's what Strowman did. Awkward silence, and then it took him too long to get to the exact lines. There's no reason for him to do that. Should have just gone off the cuff. Lesnar, get in here so I can kick your ass. Should have just said exactly those lines. Didn't have to use Heyman. Or you could have just said, shut up, Heyman, I'm talking to Lesnar. Something like that. But instead of ad-libbing a little bit and going off the cuff, but still being in character and still being in the situation, he decided to grasp for those exact lines, which we damn well know he would never, ever say as a character. It was bad. This whole segment was really bad, and this started the steep decline. This started, like, we were going great on this, and suddenly we have just plummeted. Lesnar comes out, he walks around the ring, and then he walks back. Yeah. So how do we follow this up? You've just had a bomb of a mic segment. So how do we follow this up? We follow this up with the same shit we've been watching on Raw as filler for the past 2.5 months. And that's Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. I get they're supposed to be a comedy act. I totally get it. And I love the chemistry that these two have, okay? I love the chemistry that these two have. I think it's hilarious. Love it, love it. I just wish that... How do we put this? It's the same damn thing with them all the time. I'm not talking about them as a character. They're either going against a team that involves Ember Moon, or a team that involves Apollo Crews, or Alicia's going against Ember Moon in singles with everyone on ringside, or Apollo's going against Jinder Mahal with everyone else at ringside, or insert other people. Finn Balor's been involved, Sasha, Bayley, you name it. Everyone has been involved in filler matches involving Jinder and Alicia Fox. So how do we continue our steep descent into nothingness? By doing the same damn thing for the past 2.5 months. I've got no problem with Jinder and Alicia Fox as an act. The problem that I have, it's just the same damn thing. Let's try something different for a change. Why don't we have the Singh brothers being in a tag team and Alicia and Jinder on ringside, and they're both arguing over who's in charge of the Singh brothers? CJ saying Jinder is such a good straight man. He sure is. No, I am giving credit with this, okay? It's a great act. This whole thing's a great act. But for God's sakes, Juggle it up a little bit. Do something different. Ugh. So that's what happened. Ember Moon and Apollo Crews came out for a mixed tag match, and Ember and Apollo won. Whatever. Mike says this was quick and painless, and yes, this was quick and painless. But for God's sakes, it's the same damn thing. Next up, we have Alexa Bliss making the debut of her little TV talk show thingy that she's doing called A Moment of Bliss. Brace yourselves. She made this announcement that she was going to be having the show last week. So you had 7 days to prepare for a scripted Alexa Bliss segment on Raw. You had 7 days to go to your liquor store to get your favorite tranquilizer, whatever you could do to numb the pain. Because you know that Alexa Bliss scripted segments, ooh, it's bad. I don't know where to start. The whole part of it stunk. I hope you all enjoyed this segment because it's probably going to be the last time you'll ever see it. Ronda Rousey, she's interviewing Rousey, which did not take long, but Bliss asks Rousey who she thinks she should face, and Rousey said that she wants to be a champion everyone could be proud of. She wants to face the Rocky Balboa of the women's division. She wants to face someone that everyone in the women's division has looked up to and has learned from, and that is Sasha Banks. Oh boy. I'm just going to leave it at that. So she says that. Nia Jax comes out, says that she's got unfinished business with Rousey. Sasha comes out and says that she'd be happy to face Rousey for the title and teach her to lose with dignity. Jax steps in front and tells Banks to get in line, and then Banks says, "Bitch, what line?" Banks challenges her to a match with the winner facing Rousey. Yeah. This is just, the whole segment was par for course for Monday Night Raw. That was just par for course. And that is when we are now 10 feet. We were riding so high. We were riding so high. But now we are at least 50 miles within the Earth's crust with no way of getting out in sight. No way of getting out. Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks with Tamina and Bayley at their respective ring sides. This match lasted way too long. Nia Jax is going to toss Sasha onto things. In this match, we were also reminded of how reckless and atrocious Sasha Banks is. Will we have the specific spots here? Sure, we will. Let's go ahead and watch this spot, where Sasha just takes rope to her face when that was not supposed to happen. We are also going to watch this spot. We're talking about the Hurricane Rana on the apron to Nia Jax. I want to place focus on this spot in particular because I don't know if this was supposed to happen or something else was supposed to happen. Who's at fault? Why? I don't know. Hurricane Rana, thump. So was Jax supposed to come off the apron or land face first on the apron? If she was supposed to land face first on the apron, it was with hardly little impact. For Sasha Banks, was this really necessary? Was this spot necessary? Was this something that you could just not hold off on until your match with Rousey? I'm not saying I don't think the tumble that she took looked that bad. Well, actually, it looks like she landed really hard on her left shoulder. But isn't this something you could uncork for something that really matters? You know? I don't know. I don't know. So she ended up winning the match. Sasha did. She's facing Rousey for the Raw Women's title at Royal Rumble, which leaves a lot of questions up in the air about this match. Trainwreck does not adequately describe what I think we're going to see with that match at the Royal Rumble. I never wish for people to get hurt in wrestling. I never do. And I don't mean to. But I fear it. A lot. Especially when spot monkeys are involved. Especially with spot monkeys who have no inkling or care for who they're in the ring with, if they can handle what they have in mind, or what the purpose is of the spots that they're doing in the first place. The Rousey-Sasha Banks match at Royal Rumble, I am not going to go to the bathroom for. I am going to watch with the most sober eye that I can find of my two, which may be difficult. I really think that match will be picked apart. Rousey Banks at Royal Rumble, people will be picking that match apart. After watching this match that Banks had with Jax on Raw, it is going to be under a microscope. There will be tweezers and scalpels and forceps involved. It will be surgically dissected and then attempted to be put back together to resemble a wrestling match when it won't. Train, wreck, and a half plus ground zero is what this match is going to look like. One of the reasons that I said that last year's Evolution pay-per-view was one of, if not the best pay-per-view of that year, was because every single match felt so fluid. Every single match just seemed to have ebbs and flows. There were no stalls. Yes, there were rest spots, but there were no stalling in actions. I mean, we're so used to watching women's matches that the two women here, they go 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, okay. You know, it's like they plant their feet. Okay, I'm ready to do the spot. We had none of that at the Evolution pay-per-view. Everything was just so fluid and smooth and seamless. It was like a satin sheet. But I'll be damned if Rousey and Sasha Banks' match is going to be like a burlap sack, okay? It's going to be so rough. It's going to be so jagged. It's going to be so stuttering. You're going to itch for a long time after that match. It's going to be bad. Andrew saying I should do an autopsy of the match on Weekly, possibly after the Rumble. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd want to watch it again if I'm thinking it's going to be as bad as I think it's going to be. I don't know. Finally, to end this madness, we have the Falls Count Anywhere match between Ambrose and Rollins. They're beating each other up on the ramp to start off the thing, which is fantastic. They're beating each other up in the crowds. Oh gosh, and Ambrose just takes a flush boop right in the nose. Trying to do the dirty deeds on the concrete. Nope, we're just going to take a back body drop. because that's how Ambrose likes it. And then Rollins is instead, he's going to do his little superplex, float over into the buckle bomb. Yeah, that's really neat. Falls count anywhere match. Follow it up with a super kick to the face. But then, like I said before, Lashley's going to come on out. Interrupt. Are we done with Dean and Seth yet? Absolutely not. And so your winner of the match was Dean Ambrose after the hellacious beating that he took. But Rollins, all it took was for one move from Bobby Lashley to end this match. After all the stuff that they had taken earlier. What did you think of the show? Well, everyone on the internet thought 64% thumbs down. Oh, I agree with that. All right, so again, why was this show so bad? Frankly, it's from when you have that low point, like the Strowman Lesnar segment, when you have a bad segment like that, you've got to have a match or you got to have something to pick up everyone's spirits. Okay? Say, for example, you have, a good one-on-one match. Like you do, have Elias and Corbin have their match next instead of Fox and Mahal. Instead of it being the damn people that you've had doing the same damn thing for 2.5 months. You have lulled everyone to sleep. And they stay asleep Elias comes out and everyone yells out his lines. But then you have a mediocre match between Elias and Corbin. And how in the hell? Well, you got to try to pick up the pace. So how are we doing that? Again, we try to pick it back up with a moment of bliss. And it was just poorly booked, poorly performed, poorly written, poorly everything. I'm surprised it was 64%. Thoroughly surprised. How do you solve this? This is on writing's fault. This was all on creative's fault. Okay? Bad ideas abound. Bad performances abound. Could all have been altered with just tweaks in the card. Instead, you guys go next. You guys can take a break. That's all you had to do was shift things around. Now for something completely different. Actually, I need to break into my Rocky the Flying Squirrel voice. Yeah, now here's something we hope you'll really like. God dang, excuse me. On to the Blue Show. That's right, Jamel. Fire up. Hashtag Fire Road Dog. How is that campaign going, by the way? How is that campaign of firing Road Dog going right now? I'll tell you what. I'd hire him to be the new coach of the Browns, but Cleveland Browns have already hired a new coach. All right. This show was fantastic. Beautifully written, beautifully booked, beautifully everything. Then, well, how could this have been so much better? The show starts off with a segment of Daniel Bryan over in a concession stand in the arena, denigrating everyone in their consumptive needs of eating hot dogs and soda and popcorn and candy. He's squirting mustard over, plants. He's dumping soda on plants. What I mean by plants, I mean people, like actors and stuff. Makes his way down into the ring. He's still insulting everybody around him, and then R-Truth jumps him from behind. And we get into a match because R-Truth has a match against Daniel Bryan. My God. This is how you start a show. Right here like this. You don't have it where Daniel Bryan is just insulting everybody and then he gets into the ring and he ends his segment and now walks R-Truth. You follow up with, remember when Daniel Bryan jumped R-Truth a couple of weeks ago? Well, R-Truth is getting his comeuppance and he's going to jump him. Beautiful. That's how you do it. R-Truth, Daniel Bryan, this was a fun wham bam thank you ma'am match. The crowd was hot with R-Truth. The crowd was hating Daniel Bryan with a passion. Daniel Bryan, he wins. Hit him with some double knees for the cover. After the match, AJ Styles does run in and beats the crap out of Daniel Bryan as he's walking up the ramp. Apparently a chair, AJ grabbed a steel chair, but Daniel Bryan walked away as Styles threw the chair at him. Man, that is how you do this. And especially with Daniel Bryan just yelling impotent to everyone around him. Correct it. Impotent. Correct it. We follow this up with a tag match that I'm sure if these were any other talents, especially if it were on Monday Night Raw, I would be saying an irrelevant tag team match. An irrelevant tag team match with the team of Rey Mysterio and Mustafa Ali going up against Andrade Almas and Samoa Joe with Zelina Vega in tow. I implore you to watch this match. I demand that you watch this match. We are 9 days into the new year, and already I've got a match of the year candidate right here. This was fabulous. Fabulous stuff. You would think in a match like this involving, of the four, three incredible, I don't know, you don't want to call them spot monkeys. You don't want to do that. But when you've got three high flyers, really fast movers, and one big guy in Samoa Joe in there, you know it's going to be fun. Okay? The offense in this was fantastic. The counters in this were fantastic. Everything fantastic. And everything made sense as it was happening. Okay? There were no spots for the sake of spots. There was no, I got mine, now you get yours. There was none of that. We had spots of Samoa Joe hurling Mustafa Ali into the commentator's table. We had, my God, some fantastic back and forth between Ali and Almas. Mysterio and Almas. This was all about Almas, Ali, and Mysterio, and not as much about Samoa Joe. Okay? Samoa Joe was there to kind of be the he's the pace setter. Things get too fast, he slows it down. Then stuff builds back up. But he does a great job at it. Call them little critters? Yeah, I'm calling them critters. I can't help but call them critters. And unfortunately, during this match, we did get a destroyer spot, which I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of at all. But I cannot go all the stuff that happens in this match, but it is, again, one of those seamless, fluid matches that just molds so well into itself. Andrade, Almas, and Samoa Joe win clean over Ali and Mysterio, with Almas getting the pin, I believe, on Mysterio. Wow. Now that's a big wow. Okay. But yeah, go out of your way to check this match out. It is fantastic stuff. Andrew saying Ali was a smart call up to the main roster. Yes. Oh, yes, he was a very smart call up. I don't know if there's anyone else on the 205 Live roster that I would have called up as an actual in-ring talent for the main roster. You could have done Cedric Alexander, but I don't think he would have gone as well. No, this was a great move. Throughout the course of the show, we would have Carmella cutting monologues, Becky Lynch cutting a monologue, Charlotte cutting a monologue, talking about their triple threat coming up to end the show, with the winner being the number one contender for Asuka's title over at the Royal Rumble. But also, the Usos are backstage in the same poorly lit room that Dean Ambrose was in the night prior. Instead of doing a brooding comic book like supervillain promo, They are just walking forward, and the camera doesn't really catch up with them as they walk forward. And they kind of remind me of a little bit. I don't want to say a rap video. It's not a gangster rap video, but they kind of remind me of music videos you would see from the early 90s in rap acts like DOS Effects and not thinking EPMD or something like that, but they were set in dank areas like that, to show that they were badasses, and it fits them better than it fits Dean Ambrose being Bane, But the Usos cut their typical smoky, dimly lit boiler room stuff because they've got a match tonight going up against the Bar, and if they beat the Bar, they're going to go for the titles at the Royal Rumble. So there you go. Shane McMahon. Okay. Let's talk us some Shane McMahon and Miz right now. Shane McMahon is backstage. In comes the Miz. Asks if Shane had anything to do with the Usos getting a match against the Bar. Shane says, well, they are far from the tag team picture. And Miz says, well, that doesn't matter. You're a McMahon. You can make things happen. You just give us the match. And Shane goes, well, you're getting excited about, I'm excited about teaming up with you, but I'm not going to use my power just to give us a title shot. We have to challenge ourselves and the competition. Miz says, all right, I understand. We're on the same page. Hey, have you thought about our outfits? And Shane's like, no. Once again, Onyx. That's the other band group I was thinking of. Clint, CJ. Yeah, Onyx. That's a good one. There is no way on Monday Night Raw that you can pull off as great of a program as we have right now involving Shane McMahon and The Miz. What I mean by this is it's not as much a talent like The Miz or a talent like Shane McMahon. You need to understand that this is a program and a storyline that they have not even had a match against each other or enough in-ring time with each other for there to warrant a program or a story involving the two of them. Yet, for the past 2 months, since Crown Jewel, this has been a very intriguing and entertaining program involving these two, where The Miz wants Shane to team up with him so they can be a tag team, and Miz will do anything to get Shane to be his tag team partner, even if it means lying and cheating and double-crossing and everything, just so that he can succeed somewhere. So he can win, so he can have the spotlight. You could never see a program like this working with anyone on Monday Night Raw. With no one on Monday Night Raw. Rusev is in the ring now. Says last week Lana was hurt because of the selfish actions of Shinsuke Nakamura. While Lana is at home resting, Rusev stood in the ring, not as a U.S. champ, not as a Bulgarian brute, but as a husband, and said and allowed Lana's the best. Lana number one is going throughout the crowd. Tells Shinsuke that he can mess with him all he wants, but once he messes with his wife, that crosses the line. Calls out Nakamura. He says he's going to break every bone in his body. Nakamura shows up on the TV. He's in the TV truck. Tells the guys to roll the footage, and showing that Lana was on top of Nakamura, and Rusev kicked him in the face and fell on top of Lana. And he said, but I'm in the TV truck to prove you wrong. And he showed the video. We saw that. And Nakamura tells Rusev that you crushed Lana. And Rusev then, he's in the ring. He goes, Nakamura, if it doesn't come to me, then I will go to you. And we see Rusev tries to head on over to the back, but Nakamura cuts him off at the pass, pushes the equipment box onto him, and then gives him a Kinshasa afterwards. Another great program. So simple. So simple. And yet so volatile. Rusev's delivery of his lines, how he is so enraged that his wife is hurt. But then comes to realize that it kind of was his fault. He's just going to go beat the shit out of the guy that kicked him that has been doing this all in the first place. At first, Nakamura's heel character and heel turn has been a very interesting one and a very complex one, especially when it comes to his delivery, the delivery of his lines as the heel character. He has finally iced himself over, in my opinion, just how I've watched him. I'll be honest, the Nakamura heel character has really been up or down with me. And it really came down when he wasn't on TV as much. He was doing a lot of talking, but not doing a lot of acting, not doing anything with action, with purpose. It was just him talking on the TV and then having one match, and that's it. But nothing in between. We never had him in a segment where he blindsides somebody. Well, actually, I kind of take that back. We've had him in blindsiding segments before, but there's just something about this one. There's just something about this one to where you know how the evil Japanese character is supposed to sound, right? He's supposed to have broken English. He's supposed to, have soft voice and speak syllable. Misprepositions, limited English. Not as much be a troll and say that he no speak English. Not being a troll, but being seedy, being underhanded, and sounding it with eyes and facial expression and squinting and everything. I should not be able to see his eyes when he's talking. Put it that way. But his eyes should be closed. But they should not be closed like this. This is how he would talk sometime, like this, where his eyes are closed like this, and then he goes like this. No. He should be squinting, and I'm not saying that because it's Japanese, but that's how he should be. He should be like, oh, you don't understand. No, play the video, Ralph. Something like that. There is something about this Shinsuke. There's something about his character in this program that sets it apart from all of the others he's had ever since his heel turn at WrestleMania. There's just something about this. I don't know if it's because of he's going against Rusev instead of going against AJ Styles, or can anyone else remember who the U.S. champion was that he won the title from? I can't remember. Nor do I think I really care. But there's just something about this program where everything just falls beautifully into place. You can feel the anger. You can see the anger. You can see the evil intentions. You can hear it, see it, everything. You would never see this fly on Monday Night Raw. You just couldn't. Usos versus The Bar. The Usos win. They get a tag team title opportunity. While I complained, for 3 or 4 months. Oh, yeah, Jeff Hardy was the answer. Okay, so it was Jeff Hardy, yeah. For the past 3 or 4 months, you've heard me complain that we always saw the Usos or the Bar, the New Day. That's all it ever was. We never saw any other tag teams. With this match, they basically said, well, Doug, here's the fucking reason why you've only been seeing these guys. Holy crap. Match of the Year candidate number 2. What makes this match so fantastic are the hot tags from hell. Oh my God. Jim Uso, any Uso hot tag is a treasure. Uso hot tags are a treasure. Okay? No does better hot tags than the Usos. Did I say that someone else did better hot tags last week? Okay, fuck whatever I said last week. Uso hot tags are fantastic hot tags. Forever and ever and ever. Okay? Near the end of this match, Mandy Rose's music hits. Sashay's out in a bathrobe. And asks if she left her gold hot pants in Jimmy's locker room. That led everyone to get distracted. Everyone gets distracted. I was distracted. Sheamus knocked Jimmy off. Cesaro hit Jay with the neutralizer, got the cover. Oh, yeah, Big E hot tags. Sheamus and Cena hot tags. Yeah, that's right. But, yeah. No. Uso hot tags right now are the best hot tags. So there you go. Mandy Rose distraction, and who the fuck doesn't get distracted by Mandy Rose? Okay. Please. Yeah, people complaining about that. I'd ask if they're quince quince. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's just the only reason. All right. Then the Miz's music hits. He runs on down to the ring. He gets in the ring. He congratulates the Bar for winning, dominating all the tag teams, all but one. The Miz says that he was there to grant them an opportunity of a lifetime to defend their tag titles against one team they have yet to dominate, the best tag team in the world. Cesaro grabbed the mic, said the Miz you're asking for us to defend our titles against you and Shane. Sheamus hits the Miz with the brogue kick. Cesaro says, yep, sure. We accept that challenge. Then later, we just see Mandy Rose walking backstage with Sonya. They're just walking. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Naomi sees Mandy and goes apeshit bonkers, trying to beat the crap out of both of them. Jimmy comes in to try to break up the whole fracas. Holy crap! That program's only been going on for 2 weeks. Mandy and Naomi. I need more of that. Oh my God. This is the kind of women's programs that I love. Fuck your moves. Fuck your submission moves. Fuck your counters upon counters. Fuck Sasha Banks spots. Give me 2 women whipping each other's hair out, smacking each other in the face. That's what I want. Threw the shoes at her. Just, God, yes. This is what I want in my women's wrestling. You can take your spots, your submission moves, throw them out the window, and then also take your Sasha Banks spots and go fuck them on a weekend. I'll take Mandy Rose, Naomi any night. Please give it to me. I need this. This I need. This cannot be a match for the pre-Royal Rumble show. No, I give them 15 minutes of doing nothing but grabbing each other's hair. And then I want them the next week. I want it no DQ. I want them fighting everywhere around the crowd. Send them to the concession stands and spray mustard and ketchup in their face. My God, this is great. I want this. Please give me this. I never asked for anything in my life. I want queso cheese in each other's hair. I want nacho chips flying everywhere. I want chaos. Oh. Just get. All right. I gotta get over myself. Hi. Miz is backstage with Shane McMahon. Miz says that he's ready to win and he believed in the team. They're not testing themselves by going after the Bar. Then what are they doing? Miz says it means a lot to him that they wouldn't be the Miz or Shane if they just let everyone pass them by. So, yeah. So now we're getting the Bar versus Shane and the Miz at the Royal Rumble for the titles. Finally. Triple threat. For the number one contention for the SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella. Match of the year number 3. Wow. This was a fantastic match. I hate triple threat matches or fatal 4-way matches when nothing's involved. Something was involved with this one. It was the number one contendership for the SmackDown Women's title that all 3, in segments throughout the show, stated why it was important to them. If you did not have those monologues that each of those 3 gave throughout the show, going into this match, no one would have cared about this match. The crowd would not have been as hot as they were for this match. This was fantastic. There was no one person hanging out at ringside and then the other 2 just do their shit and then goes back and forth, back and forth. We had stories told between each of the 3 little mini rivalries. You had Becky and Charlotte staring at each other and going down. And you had Carmella playing that, what about me? I'm not a third wheel here. The moveset between heel Carmella and face Carmella is night and day just as much as Raw is the SmackDown. Night and day. She has got a great moveset. She really does. Throwing in a code of silence, little submission hold for the heck of it. I mean, oh, you said that too, CJ. I mean, it's true. Completely different movesets, and that's how it's supposed to be. When you do a swerve of any kind, you're supposed to have changes in moves. Dean fucking Ambrose. What? Whatever. I want to talk about the good things. Go out of your way to check the entire show of SmackDown. The entire show was fantastic. So many different great spots in this triple threat. Becky Lynch came out on top. So now it's Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title at the Royal Rumble. Kind of throws some things out there when it comes to how the Royal Rumble's going to turn out, probably. So what did everyone think of SmackDown? 88% thumbs up. 88%. I'm surprised it wasn't in the high 90s. This was a fantastic show. Front to back. All of the action in the ring was warranted, was seamless, fluid. Every match told a story. Every segment told a story. Everything flowing into one another seamlessly. Seamlessly. It was seriously watching these 2 shows back to back. I felt like I watched a 3-hour-long episode of Wheel of Fortune where no one could solve a goddamn puzzle. And then I followed it up with 2 hours of nothing but with the Price is Right's Plinko, and everyone won $1 million every single time they played. How you like that for game show references? Fantastic show. Seriously, I've got it on my DVR. I'm probably going to watch it again. All right. Enough of the reviews. Enough of the red show and the blue show. All right. Time to talk about some news here. Time to talk about some news. Lots of stuff happening in the news. You know, I wanted to lead off the news with this. So Saturday, Mike Johnson, the intrepid reporter at PW Insider, reported that the WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair was confirmed to appear at Raw on Monday in Orlando. According to his report, there is no official word on what Flair's role on the show will be, but it may be to help pay tribute to the late Mean Gene Okerlund, who passed away earlier that week. There have been so many nuggets of joy that Mike Johnson from PW Insider has given us. So many nuggets of joy. This is not his first. He has had many others. I'm going to have to do some research on the other great nuggets of joy that Mike Johnson has given us. But Ric Flair did not show up on Monday Night Raw. No role was confirmed of his on the show because he never was in Orlando. Mike Johnson from PW Insider, intrepid reporter. Also, it was reported last Thursday that what triggered Mean Gene Okerlund's rapid decline in health was from a fall that he had in December. TMZ reported that Gene Okerlund suffered what was described as a nasty fall back in December, which ended up triggering a very rapid decline in his overall health, according to his son Todd. According to Todd Okerlund, Gene suffered multiple broken ribs after the fall in his home in Florida. Was said to be in frail health even before the fall took place. 4 days before his passing at 76, Okerlund was admitted to a nursing home. Earlier that week, Okerlund had trouble breathing. He was rushed to a hospital on Wednesday where he ended up passing away. TMZ reported that Okerlund's wife, Jean, was by his side when he passed away. Usually when any senior citizen is in poor health, in declining health, they're about to go. If a fall or something happens and they are admitted into a hospital, they usually end up coming down with pneumonia, some kind, and then passing away. Saying this, we saw it happen with Vader. Was a good example of it from last year. I really say this just because my mother is a former hospice nurse, a former nursing director of numerous senior care facilities, assisted living facilities. It's something that I've seen and heard way too often when those who are in poor health suffer from a fall. It's bad. It's really bad. So sad to know that was those were the reasons for his passing. But yeah, he'll be missed. He will be missed. Also, during the week, Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Eric Bischoff, and many others tweeted out all of their respects to Gene Okerlund. Vince, it was impossible not to crack a smile whenever Mean Gene entered the room. He was the voice behind so many of WWE's most iconic and entertaining moments, and the WWE family miss him immensely. Bret Hart giving a long Instagram note. Eric Bischoff somewhere vacationing, giving his, really, Eric, come on. Didn't have to do that. Didn't have to really do it like that. Come on. Andrew saying they'd be careful with their grandmother. My great aunt fell and was never the same. Yeah, no, it's sad. This is an interesting report here that came down the wire last Friday. The NWA is announcing the partnership with Ring of Honor for the return of the Crockett Cup, April the 27th, right down the road from me in Concord, North Carolina, over at the Cabarrus Arena, the same damn arena that TNA books, where it's the same arena that they do county fair horse shows. It's going to be over in that arena. The Crockett Cup. What is the Crockett Cup, you say? It's basically a tag. It's essentially, I believe it's a tag team tournament. But basically, it's a tourney of some kind. NWA originally announced the return of the Crockett Cup in October at the NWA 70th anniversary event. On that night, Aldis defeated Rhodes to regain the NWA title. NWA President Billy Corgan made a commitment to honoring the tradition and legacy upon taking control of the famed organization known as the NWA. Crockett Cup comes 3 weeks after Ring of Honor's successful partnership with New Japan to sell out Madison Square Garden. For the last 17 years, Ring of Honor has given opportunities to the biggest names in the history of wrestling to create career-defining moments. First qualifying match of the Crockett Cup takes place this coming Saturday at the NWA pop-up event in Clarksville, Tennessee. So, yeah, Ring of Honor will also present Honor Reigns Supreme in Concord, North Carolina, this coming Sunday, January the 13th. Same arena, featuring Jay Lethal going up against Dalton Castle. Am I going to that show? No, I'm not going to that show. It's amazing to me how much is happening in the state of North Carolina when it comes to independent wrestling. We got New Japan's New Beginnings coming over here in February. Ring of Honor is doing their live show here on Sunday. We got the Crockett Cup with NWA and Ring of Honor coming up in April. I don't know what it is, unless we're giving them really good tax breaks or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I got no problem with it, especially when all of this shit is happening just within a half-hour drive from me. Doesn't mean I'm going to go to every single one of them. Sorry. I mean, I know I'm Wrestleview, and I know it's supposed to cover wrestling and everything, but I've got day jobs. Sorry. I've got a girlfriend who's unfortunately sick right now that I've been taking care of. So I'm sorry, I can't. Former WWE World Champion Christian is going to be hosting an upcoming series on the History Channel. According to the History Channel website, the new series is going to be called Night Fight. Will be premiering on January the 23rd. Description of it reads in this. Welcome to the toughest, most violent armored combat competition in the world today. Night Fight steps inside the world of the Full Contact Armored Combat League, often referred to as Medieval MMA or Night Fight Club. Hosted and judged by Christian, the winner walks away with a championship title, $10,000, and a spot in the season finale for a chance to become the first ever Night Fight champion. First impressions? God, yes. This sounds so stupid. I'll watch it. This sounds so incredibly stupid. I'm just imagining the fight with the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You know? Someone had better be dressed up as him during this. If I don't see Artorias of the Sun from Dark Souls in this motherfucker, and it's a complete shame. I better see nothing but Dark Souls cosplayers at this thing. Seriously. And by God, and when one of them wins, they better fucking praise the sun. They better fucking praise the sun, okay? I will not consider this a success if someone does not fucking praise the sun. Also, last Friday, let's ramp down the happiness. And let's talk about shit that happens on the internet. NXT superstar Toni Storm deleted all of her social media accounts after private photos of her leaked online. I have not seen the photos, don't care about the photos. I have not seen any of this, nor do I care about any of this. I have only seen people's replies and people's comments, unfortunately. And I've foregone one of my main rules in life, and that is you don't scroll down. But I only want to go on to the next news item by only saying this. If your reply to this story is that, well, if she didn't take those photos in the first place, none of this would have happened. If you're one of those people that made those comments, pack a good lunch. Pack a good lunch. Because you only get one break on your trip to hell. Okay? Better know how to hold it in. Because you only get one break for bathroom on your way to hell. Okay? She should have known that those pictures would have been gone out. She wouldn't have had them taken anyway. Says the guy who's looking up pictures of her. WWE Network is promoting a new documentary about Nigel McGuinness. It will be premiering this Saturday on the WWE Network called The Nigel McGuinness Story. It's going to be following the live NXT TakeOver Blackpool special that is happening that Saturday. It is NXT UK's first ever TakeOver special. I am really interested in that documentary. Christian Chico Rodriguez, subscribe to us on Wrestleview. Thank you so much. That number is not correct on my bar. We are now at 602, I believe, and not 585. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. We don't ask for much, only your attention. We're just like anybody else, you know. Nigel McGuinness' story, that's going to be a very interesting documentary just because I don't know much about him. I haven't seen a whole lot of his stuff in wrestling, and I'm sure I could look it up. He was a big thing in Ring of Honor. I know that. Came to TNA, and I don't even remember him for a hiccup, you know. But, yep, NXT TakeOver Blackpool is Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when it'll be. And then following that will be the Nigel McGuinness documentary. This was a little awkward to see on Mauro Ranallo's Twitter account last Thursday. He said, like me or loathe me, I pride myself on performing my job at the highest level possible. Tonight I failed. I know it will come across as an excuse to some, but the car accident and other personal issues affected me more than I thought. I apologize to NXT and I will be better. Mauro, you're okay. Mauro, you're doing just fine. Please. People are criticizing you online. For God's sakes, don't pay them any mind. You're okay, Mauro. You're doing fine. There are just some people that don't know the shit that you've gone through or going through or have been through in your life. It's okay. You're doing great. Believe me. I will not be one to judge you. Nor should anyone else, for that matter. Do you guys like seeing people jump into frozen ponds? Well, I sure do. Here's Braun Strowman doing some fundraising for the Boys and Girls Club.
I said, do y'all want to see me do it one more time?
Quickly skip ahead. Fun stuff. Oh, God, I just want to see the splash. God. All right. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. All right. Apparently, Victoria, also known as Lisa Marie Varone, said on her Instagram page that this year will be her final year in the ring. I didn't know that she was still doing stuff. Yep, she just said, hey, gang, year 2019 will be my last year in wrestling in the squared circle, and an exciting new adventure is to come. Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet there is. Now let's talk about boring financial stuff with the WWE. It was reported back on Monday. The WWE named Sarah Cummins the new senior VP of consumer products with the WWE. All you really need to know here is that Sarah Cummins, I believe that's how it's pronounced, she has more than 25 years of marketing, licensing, media, and business and developmental experience, and will be responsible for overseeing the implementation of WWE's global consumer products business, including licensing, e-commerce, venue sales, home entertainment, and publishing. In a better sense, she is now the head salesperson for the WWE brand, is what she is. That's what she's going to be. She will be in charge of very important stuff, especially marketing, advertising of everything that the WWE does. Look at this. She spent more than 15 years at the United States Tennis Association, most recently as managing director, where she oversaw retail development and operations for the U.S. Open. She was vice president in licensing and custom sales at Vineyard Vines, where she managed more than 250 collegiate, NFL, MLB, and NHL licenses, and delivered the company's first worldwide sponsorship, licensing, and retail rights with the Kentucky Derby. She was called a game changer by the Sports Business Journal in 2017. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree cum laude from Boston College. So, they've got a master coming in when it comes to selling the brand that is the WWE. Okay. I'm very, very interested to see what their change in promoting and advertising is going to be, especially when the new TV deal starts up in October when SmackDown goes to Fox. You're going to see a complete overhaul of WWE advertising. That's the biggest reason she was brought in. WWE does not really advertise that well outside of networks that they're already on in time slots that they're currently airing on. Prepare yourselves in the coming months. Great example, Daytona 500 comes on Fox. You watch for WWE SmackDown ads. That's when you're going to really see everything take shape. It's going to be very, very interesting. See how this turns out. WWE Performance Center news. New names to begin. Eric Rowan was spotted at the Performance Center this week. Rowan is currently recovering from a biceps tear, and he's been out of action since August. Vince McMahon and Triple H Levesque visited the facility yesterday, mainly with the WWE in town to tape Monday Night Raw that prior night. Former Ring of Honor star ACH and former Impact star Trevor Lee are both expected to begin training at the Performance Center in the coming weeks. But the biggest news coming out of that is Rowan is now getting workouts to get back in shape from his biceps tear, which is going to be very interesting. But if you want something really cool, first off, before we get to cool stuff, according to PW Insider, now whether this is Mike Johnson or not, we're not sure, but according to them, with their sources, Braun Strowman is still not cleared. Strowman is continuing to recover after undergoing surgery back in November to have bone spurs removed from his elbow. WWE has been documenting the recovery in a new series of videos. But it's not confirmed if it's possible Strowman will remain out of the ring until he's scheduled to challenge Brock Lesnar. No shit. Of course he's not going to do anything in the ring until the Royal Rumble. That doesn't mean that he's not cleared to perform at the Royal Rumble. Fucking sources. Ugh. Finally, on the news front, today was the Consumer Electronics Show over in Las Vegas, and the WWE was there. Why? They do a lot of electronical stuff. It involves their WWE network. Stephanie McMahon was there and was involved in many different panels, including the WWE's Women's Evolution was a panel that she was in. 2 fireside chats between the WWE and Mattel with their toy line. How data and technology fuels multi-generational branding. Big words to sell. Branding words. Multi-generational. Yes. So, yep, Stephanie McMahon's right there at the CES. I'm sure she got herself an iPhone 25 and a curved TV with a curvature of 161 degrees. Yep, that's what they do over at the CES. They have lots of gizmos and stuff that you will never afford ever in your lifetime. Sorry. Look at all the shiny buttons I wish that I could press. Take a quick swig here. There's not really a whole lot of changes on the injury fronts, because here's our injury list. Jason Jordan had many multiple neck surgeries. Not sure when he's going to be back. Sami Zayn, 2 rotator cuffs, had surgeries. He's back around WrestleMania times, along with Kevin Owens with cleanup surgeries on both knees. He should be back in time for WrestleMania. Fandango, torn labrum. He is out until the Royal Rumble, alongside with Eric Rowan. We just said just completed torn bicep surgery and rehab. He is at the Performance Center now. Sin Cara, cleanup surgery on his knee. He is cleared to go. He performed at the South America tour, but he has yet to appear on TV. Goldust, cleanup surgery on both of his knees. We don't know what the hell he's doing. He's just having fun with his dogs at home. Roman Reigns, still diagnosed with leukemia. We pray that he will return quickly, because heaven forbid Raw could use him right now. Luke Harper, wrist surgery. Not sure when he'll be back, but I think tentatively he should be returning around the same time Rowan is. Ty Dillinger, wrist surgery. Did you know he was gone? I sure as hell didn't either. And Braun Strowman, cleanup surgery on his elbow with bone spurs. He should be due for the Royal Rumble. So, when did Neville get off this list, Grash? Well, it's only because he quit with the WWE. He reneged on signing the contract, and that was the only thing with him. We didn't know what was up with his contract, but that was a good 6 months ago. Glad to see you follow the show there, Grash. Speaking of, so, last Thursday, if you joined me on the Twitch channel that I have, Doug Wrestleview, we watched all of Wrestle Kingdom 12. Biggest reason for this was because last Friday, not but less than 24 hours after I did that show, was Wrestle Kingdom 13. So, what is a Wrestle Kingdom 13? Matches happened. Would it really matter if I told you what the results were? Just because, honestly, Wrestle Kingdom 12 that I watched last week? Hell if I know. I don't know who a lot of these jokers are. Never watched enough of them to really care. Don't know what the programs are. I do recognize some of the names. Ryusuke Takaguchi, Togi Makabe, and Toru Yano won the Never Six-Man Number 1 Contender Gauntlet match. Ospreay defeated Ibushi to win the Never Openweight title. Shingo Takagi and Bushi defeated Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado and Sho Enyo to become the Little Critter Tag Team champs. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Tomohiro Ishii to win the RPW British Heavyweight Championship. Evil and Sonata defeated Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and the Young Bucks to become the new IWGP Tag Team champs. Juice Robinson defeated Cody Rhodes with Brandy in tow to become the new IWGP US champ. Taiji Ishimori defeated Kushida to become the new IWGP Little Critter champion. Jay White, the Swing Braider. Jay White defeated Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, which seems to be the only grudge match on the show. Tetsuya Naito defeated Chris Jericho in a no DQ rules match to become the new IWGP Intercontinental Champion. And finally, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Kenny Omega to become the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. We strum a guitar. I think that's what he's doing. I hope that's what he's doing. Yes, I hope that's what he's doing. So, paid attendance for this show estimated at 38,162. That is up from 34,995. The number last year was the largest New Japan crowd in over 16 years. So they've blasted that number out of the water again. Also, F4W Online reported that Kota Ibushi suffered a concussion during this show. Suffered it during the match of Will Ospreay. Although when it actually took place during the match remains to be unseen, but they are claiming that the decapitating elbow to the back of the head seems to be the culprit. Yeah, that could have done it. Yeah, that could have done it. So, yeah. You ever wanted another reason to drink while watching Ospreay? Well, you got another one there. Wrestle Kingdom 14 is going to be running back-to-back next year with the G1 Climax kicking off in the U.S. When is all that happening? The New Beginning is February the 2nd and the 3rd in Sapporo. New Beginning February 11th in Osaka. Blah, blah, blah. Everything's happening in Japan. Nothing's happening in the States regarding all these live shows that they promoted here on the Wrestle Kingdom. So, stop it. Jamel saying, fuck your neck, son. Mm-hmm. Honey, is there... Hold on. Stay there, honey. There's a bee on your head. But after the show, after everyone lost their matches, the internet went into a complete meltdown when Kenny Omega said that he was leaving New Japan. Holy shit, he's coming to the WWE. Oh, they're going to bury him once he gets there. No, they're going to put him in NXT and make him immediately the champion. No, he's going to debut in the WWE and go into the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble is what he's going to do. Holy shit. While everyone was losing their shit over Kenny Omega, I was paying attention to this guy. During the post-Wrestle Kingdom 13 press conference, Kushida announced that he would be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling after his deal expires at the end of the month. It broke on Twitter, right on his Twitter. These were comments by Kushida. He said, as Sugabayashi said, I will leave New Japan on January the 31st. This was an extremely tough condition made with Meiji, Sugabayashi, and Kidani. It was a very big decision in my life, and I'm thankful they understood. I will head overseas to see the world of professional wrestling. Kushida was largely considered one of the top stars in New Japan's Little Critter division and has been with the company for at least 8 years. WWE is reportedly interested in signing him. Kushida is a very, very smart person. He handles himself very well. He is not your typical spot monkey. He is not reckless at all. Hardly any reprogramming needs to be done with him. If WWE was to sign him, he's not going to sniff the main roster. He is a perfect fit for 205 Live, which I am telling you right now is breaking out to be a fantastic show. It is a great show. It has taken a year and a half and 2 years for them to build their brand and build this show, but it's finally gelling together. It's finally gelling together and becoming a good show with the new talents that they added in there, with other ones that have left, and there's a rotation going on now. Can you imagine, like, later on in this year or maybe next year, you're thinking about who they're going to call up from 205 Live? It's going to be interesting. But I can see Kushida just immediately going to 205. It would be great. I think he would be lost in the shuffle if he went to NXT. I really think he would be lost in a shuffle. Last thing you want to do is be seen as the Japanese Ricochet. You don't want to be seen as the Japanese Ricochet. Oh, by the way, let me see. So the milk carton. WWE Milk Carton, as many of you know, is a segment that I do involving superstars of the WWE who are not injured, who have not been on TV for the past 3 weeks. I'm going to tell you, the milk carton's pretty bare. We have found everyone, basically. So, who is on the milk carton right now? Not many. Like Epico and Primo Cologne. I mean, yeah, we have not seen them since, what is it, SummerSlam? No, Survivor Series. Yeah, I haven't seen them since Survivor Series. That being we're getting close to 2 months now. Yep. Haven't seen the Colognes. Will we see them in the Royal Rumble? Probably not. I don't know what they're doing right now. I really miss them. I really do. Aiden English, we haven't seen him since October the 23rd when he got blanked by Rusev on SmackDown. We're just staring at the clock right now. Just staring at the clock. That's all we're doing. Yes, I know. I know Matt Hardy is retired. He said it on the Twitter. He's fulfilled all of his contractual obligations. He did a wacky-ass Halloween special. But he's still on the goddamn roster page, and they still haven't confirmed that he's retired. He's doing weird little tweets saying that he took a dip in his pool or his pond or lake or whatever the fuck it is that he's calling it this week. Do something, Matt. Just come on, just do something. Okay? Bray Wyatt has not been seen since SummerSlam. We are now looking at upwards of 5 months. He did return at the Starrcade little house show that the WWE did. I think it was a good month ago. Yeah, about a good month ago. Prepare for him. He will be coming back at the Royal Rumble. He will enter at number 4. I'm just saying he'll come back at the Royal Rumble. If he doesn't, then I'm taking a double shot. Yeah. And also, Bray Wyatt has not been tweeting as much as he used to. So it's getting to that point. He'll be showing up very, very soon. Finally. And that's about it. Not many on the milk carton. Not many at all. Not many at all. Yeah. I thought the show was over. I thought I was going to be, calling it a day and everything until there was discussion that came up past few days involving this new organization, this new wrestling federation that everyone was having a cow giving birth, shooting up in their eyeball, stroking off in their groin. I'm talking about All Elite Wrestling, where everyone was just having conniption fits of joy or paranoia or feelings. Everyone's just having feelings about this. Okay. Something tells me I may want another drink for this, but I'm going to try to kind of fly through all of this. So, let's go ahead and bring this up. Where is it? Okay. So first off, yesterday we got an official statement from the Khan family about the launch of All Elite Wrestling. The Khan family are investing a hefty amount of money into this venture called All Elite Wrestling. They are the family that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars professional football team out of Jacksonville, Florida. Hefty amount of money that they are investing. Let's see. So we just got an official statement from them about what they're going to be doing and also holding their live rally that Friday. Later on, they announced this Double or Nothing event that's going on May the 25th in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. Still don't even know who the fuck is on your roster or what the hell you're going to be doing. A former WWE star was spotted in Jacksonville for this. Who could it have been? Well, PW Insider reported that Neville was spotted in Jacksonville and he might have been part of that rally on Friday. So here we are at this rally. Chris Jericho and Neville, or Pac apparently adorned in his gear, show up to announce that they are going to be part of All Elite Wrestling. Also at this rally was revealed that we have a list of the confirmed talent so far with AEW, that being the Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, Chris Jericho, Hangman Page, Pac, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, MJF, Bad Boy Joey Janela, Penelope Ford, and Britt Baker. Yeah. So right now, if I'm looking here, I don't think I see anyone on this list who is not at the All In show last Labor Day weekend. Here we have video posted of Jericho signing his neat little contract in his neat little binder with his neat little bracelet, nice little suit. He needs to shave. Finally, Cody confirms first that his first producer for AEW would be no other than Billy Gunn, who also took part at All In, who was a producer of All In. But finally, Cody and the Young Bucks, along with this guy known as Conrad Thompson, announced that Starrcast would be returning that year to Las Vegas during the Double or Nothing weekend. So we were asked by Goose, of course, because he was with us for All In weekend. I'm sure he misses all of us tremendously and would like to hang out with us some more. Asked if we were going to be doing Starrcast, us at Wrestleview, if we were going to be attending Starrcast for the second time around. I will tell you right now, it was an emphatic no. It was an emphatic no. In fact, I will get Adam Martin's tweet about it right here for you. See if we can get it up here. Because Adam Martin, you are such a vocal figure on the Twitter. You know, it's really tough to find his stuff. There we go, his tweets and replies. That's what I wanted to go to. I'm sorry, just bear with me. I'm sorry. Here we go. Yeah, so there's Goose just asking Wrestleview locked in for All In 2? Adam, full disclosure, I have zero interest having Wrestleview involved ever again with Starrcast. We were told no media would be granted access and got duped into paying for Podcast Row. They granted tons of media access with way smaller audiences. My take on all of this, that's first from Adam. All In and Starrcast for us at Wrestleview was a logistical nightmare. We were promised access to performers and talents. All they had to do was they would be strolling up to our desks and get our interviews. None of that happened. We had to fight for them. What I mean fight for them is basically Mike Tedesco with an iPhone had to go out there and hunt down interviews. Nothing ever came to us. We just had a table that was hugging along a window, the window side of a hallway where people were waiting to get in line to go see the biggest stars in the convention, but they could give two shits what the tables were that were next to them, especially when they didn't have any talent sitting next to them. Podcasters Row was nothing but a row of tables that nerds like us with equipment could sit at and look important. It was a logistical nightmare. We were promised things and they were never given to us. Promised access, never granted to us. Promised access to all of the events, never allowed in. If it weren't for Mike Tedesco being with us, the whole weekend would have been a wash. It would have been me throwing Cheetos at everyone and Adam fiddling with our equipment and me making fun of everyone and making everyone incredibly pissed, which I would not have had a problem with. The only good thing that really came out of that weekend was when we were up on stage for the little thing that was done by Westwood One Radio, where we were allotted an hour to podcast out live for everyone to hear, and we were able to have Sammy Callahan. We had Callahan up on there with us. We had the Blue Meanie up there at the tables with us, talking about the All In weekend in general, trying to be as positive as we could. Where, we did our best to sell to the people selling and work to the people who wanted to be worked and were loved being worked. But I got to be brutally honest. If I could do it all over again and I was there, I would have let out in full force what I thought of everyone there. Confirming stereotypes, confirming all of the people that we were lumped alongside with that were considered podcasters, that were considered professional. There were times I was really embarrassed to be at it. Not just because of the people that, and I'm not talking about the people that attended to be there. I'm not talking about the people that paid money to go to the convention to enjoy and have a good time. I'm not talking about them. Have a good time all you want. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't go to this event, okay? You will have a great time. As a paid attendee, you will have a fantastic time. But as someone who works within an industry, well, it's supposed to be an industry, someone who's supposed to be a media outlet, that's supposed to be a journalistic outlet, one that is supposed to not just provide information, but also entertainment, both combined together. It was a logistical nightmare. It was broken promise. It was irresponsibility. It was mismanagement abound. If I had not tossed Cheetos in the crowd, I mean, that was my way of letting out aggression, to tell you the truth. That was my way to let out aggression. Lightly tossing bags left and right. I really wanted to cut loose and tell everyone what I felt, what I thought that I had seen from everyone. I wasn't going to talk shit about Conrad Thompson or anyone in there regarding Starrcast. I can't do that. I mean, no, that doesn't make us look good or anything like that. It's not worth it. And it's not worth it for me to tag them on Twitter or anything like that. I wish them all the best of luck. It's going to be a success. They'll make their money. Everyone will buy into it. Podcasters will go in and do the same shit that they did last Labor Day weekend. Try to fight for their lives to get the attention of the performers and talents that don't want to pay them any attention because they don't get anything out of it. Seriously. Performers and talents are there to get paid. Us podcasters don't have money to give them. Us podcasters are supposed to be the liaison between the talents and the performers and the bookers and the talents agencies that book them and pay them to go on shows. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be their advertising agency. We're supposed to be their megaphones. And it's really kind of difficult to do that with the kind of outfit that us at Wrestleview are. We aren't here to sell. I'm not here to work you. I've got nothing to work. I got nothing to sell you. The only thing that I really sell you is just the entertainment that I do for you right now. You know? That's why Starrcast and All In Weekend last year felt so weird. For such a long time, I've been a professional salesman. I've worked in all forms and facets of sales, all forms of commissions. But to go from that and then go into a convention of nothing but carnival barker for carnies, full of carny workers and people just trying too hard. Ugh. The number one thing you must learn, and I told you last week, number one thing you've got to learn as being a professional wrestling fan is know when you're being worked. Starrcast and All In Weekend last year was an incredible exercise of knowing when you're worked, when you're being worked, but also an exercise in why you shouldn't be doing it either. You don't have to stoop yourselves to that level. You don't. All that we need to do, and us as an entity, I'm talking as Wrestleview, I'm just telling you, all that we do when it comes to trying to attract talent or performers, numbers. We are one of the most popular, if not the, wrestling news website on the internet. One of the most. We are one of the top searches in Google. We've got the numbers to prove it. And we sell those to every performer, every talent agency, and every booker to bring their talents and their performers onto our website. We don't try to sell them with other smarmy gimmicks. We just tell them, we've got the eyes, we've got the ears. You want to get more butts in your seats? You want to get more money in your wallet? Come on over to us. We are not going to do gotcha moments. We are not going to put you on the spot. We're not ambush journalists, for crying out loud. Hell, I'm not. Mike sure as isn't. Adam sure as hell isn't. We're journalists. We went to school for journalism. We love putting together good stories. And for me, I like putting together good human interest stories. I would love to sit down with any performers or any talents and just pick their brain about their lives. You know? And not just about wrestling. Really wish I could go in depth on some of the conversations I did have at All In with actual performers and talents, but it's not my place to because they're not here to defend themselves, and I don't want to do he said, she said stuff. That's not professional. But I would love to do stuff like that. But the problem is, it's kind of hard to do that and sell your wares when you're also being lumped in with other podcasters and other shows that are, quite frankly, nowhere near our level. Starrcast is beneath us. It is. We don't need Starrcast to be where we are. Starrcast needs us. And if for us to ever do something like that, it needs to be organized better. A little more, with a lot more communication between everyone involved. Throughout the moments of it, of the entire event, actually there should have been constant contact nearly every day. But they weren't staffed well enough. They didn't have enough staff to adequately take care of the podcast row and any of the entities that were there, liaisons between talents and performers and podcasters and wrestling websites. They weren't there. They got their money. It didn't matter what happened after that. So Starrcast 2 can have everyone else's money. They aren't going to get ours. We'll report on them. I mean, sure, we're not going to paint them in a negative light at all. No, more power to them. They're going to be a success. AEW, I'm sure, is going to be just fine. Okay? I'm not going to speculate or anything about, trying to equate them or compare them to other organizations. It's not for me to do, and that's totally unfair. We don't even know what the hell's going on with them yet. And we can't base it all on who the talent is that's going to be on their roster. This isn't even a portion of it. We can't. Everything is just way too soon right now. We know nothing of how they're broadcasting. What other shows are going to have? No, nothing. All that we can do right now is just hope for them the most of success when it comes to this Double or Nothing show that they're going to be doing in May. The only question that I really have is, so what happens if it is nothing? I mean, you are getting double. I mean, that's no question. But what happens if it's nothing? I hope that everyone involved has learned from what all happened at Starrcast and All In from last year. But I'll tell you right now, they could give a shit about Starrcast. It's the Double or Nothing show they care about. There are so many people that are taking a ride right now. So many people that are getting worked and working others that are wanting to be worked. Workers working workers, working workers, and workers working the worked. And us at Wrestleview, we don't work. We just report. We just interview. We just are. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. CJ, much like those pro wrestling tease nerds, yeah, we are not. We are above that. So that's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. I wanted to end this on a high note, but actually, I will end this on a high note. I will end this on a high note because you see all this. You see this shit behind me? I'm ending it on a high note because this today is the last time you're going to see this. I got shit coming in from Amazon that's going to look so swank. I was hoping I was going to get it earlier this week, but unfortunately it's not coming in until Thursday. So, we don't work, we report. That's right. But all this shit, you know what? I'm just going to take it down right now. See this? That's what's behind it. That's where the magic is made. So, this is the last time you're ever going to see what's ever back there because I got nice shit coming in this week. It's going to look so good. It's going to look so professional. I think I'm going to it's a poster of a Johnny Walker bottle is what it is. All right. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. I'm Doug Lackey. Hope you all have a fantastic week. Tune in next Monday. Mike and Victoria Tedesco. I'm sorry, I get these names wrong. I'm sorry. Victoria and Mike Tedesco review Raw from next week. Let's pray for their health, pray for their well-being, and hope that it is a way better show than what they had to cover this week. Also, tune in here next week, Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Wrestleview Weekly. I will be showing off the lists for the final. I need a drink. The Fantasy Royal Rumble begins next week on Wrestleview Weekly, as also as recapping the Raw and the SmackDown, and my words don't fail me now because I've been talking for about 2.25 hours straight. So, once again, thank you everyone who showed up in the chat room. Andrew, Jamel, CJ, Grash, Shifty, anyone else. Goose was in there. Frank, he's going to be listening right now because he's going to work or he's leaving work or whatever the fuck ever he's doing inside of his car. Everyone else is in the chat room. If you're in there right now and I haven't mentioned to you, just say it right now. Yeah, I'm giving you 2 minutes right now. If you don't speak up and I haven't said your name, then fuck, that's your problem. Let's see. How can I fill 2 minutes without people noticing that I haven't said their name? What else is happening that I would like to talk about? Oh, yeah. I went and saw the chiropractor this morning. The fall that I took in New Year's Eve was actually a deep muscle bruise. Not a bone bruise. Not anything. Oh, there's Willie Walker. Yeah, I forgot about Willie. I'm sorry about that, Willie. Forgot to mention you. Oh, well, there was a Daniel. Whatever the hell. Whatever. Daniel. Yeah, so that fall is a deep muscle bruise. The swelling has gone down. Well, the swelling is still there, but my chiropractor told me that if I had fallen an inch in any direction, any at all, I would have been out of commission. Yeah, I would have been out of commission. I would have needed to have gone through some physical therapy at least 3 times a week like I used to with how bad my back was and bad my hip was. So, yeah, thankfully it's just a bruise. Going to put some heat on it today. Going to put some heat on it tonight before I go to bed. So, once again, I did name everyone in the chat room. Awesome. Guys, you guys have a fabulous week. Be cool to each other. Know when you're being worked. And don't work each other.